Becoming a pirate legend is Sea of Thieves' branded goal. Whilst it isn't your ultimate objective because, well, there isn't one, it is a milestone in your pirating journey. But with only around 4% of the player base being pirate legend, it still surprises me how many people haven't achieved this legendary status, because with the right methods it is extremely easy to do. This video is going to be going over the quickest way to get pirate legend in 2022. There are 4 methods we're going to be talking about in total, each being fruitful in themselves. So enough waffle, on with the first one. Okay, so let's go over the most important thing, the companies we'll be focusing on. For these methods we're going to be using the easiest 3, which are the Gold Hoarders, Order of Souls, and the Merchant Alliance. The Reaper's Bones are moderately more hard than the other companies, however if you've already started leveling it up, I will explain the fastest method to level that up at the end of the video. The same goes for the Hunter's Call, although I really would not recommend that company. Alright, so the first method we're going to be talking about is Voyages. The newer company Voyages that are tailored for the specific factions are really good. Whether it's Gold Hoarder Vaults, Order of Souls Ghost Ships, or Merchant Shipwreck Voyages, they're phenomenal. But you see, it's the Emissary Quest that we're after, and you'll see some of the other strategies revolving around Emissary Quest as well. But to quickly recap what an Emissary is and how it works, for those of you who might not know, you combine Emissary License when you reach level 15 in the Gold Hoarders, Order of Souls, or Merchant Alliance from any company representative. This can be done by picking up mostly trinket loot on islands. Once you've done this, you can vote up an emissary at an emissary table. The more loot you get for that specific company, the higher the grade goes up. The higher the grade, the higher the multiplier on loot and rep. Once you get to grade 5, you get an exclusive emissary quest, which is what we're after. Alright, so to buy any of the newer faction voyages, you do have to be level 25 in the selected company. But again, this can be done by more or less squabbling in the dirt for RNG loot. If you're not level 25 yet, which you will be soon, try one of the other methods which will get you there in one play session. The principle behind Voyages of Adventure is simple. The company Voyages have been set up to give you a high grade. Gold Hoarder Vaults will usually take around 1 to 2 voyages to get to grade 5, Order of Souls usually takes around 2 to 3, and the Merchant Alliance usually takes just 1. To recap on what these voyages are, Gold Hoarder Vaults will send you pillaging ancient tombs of treasure, Order of Souls battles will send you into a fray with an armada of ghost ships, and Merchant Voyages will send you in search of lost shipwrecks. Once you get to grade 5, go to an outpost, sell, collect the emissary quest, lower the flag, and raise it again. What this does is it resets your grade, but you keep the emissary quest. The emissary quest will get you back to grade 5, so you can then pick up another emissary quest and repeat this cycle. This is known as the emissary quest loop. Statistically, Gold Hoarder quests will give you 20 captain's chests, Order of Souls will give you 16 villainous skulls, and the Merchant Alliance will give you 20 pieces of cargo. When it comes to the Merchant Alliance, however, the emissary quest loop still works, but because you only get grade when you sell the cargo, you won't get the highest multiplier straight away because the flag has been reset to get another emissary quest. Therefore, it is debated with this method that it could be better to just do Merchant Shipwreck Voyages and not the emissary quest. The next thing we're going to be talking about is mixing in world events. Whilst the emissary quest loops are very prosperous, world events are biased towards a particular company, the Order of Souls. It seems most world events' big end piece of loot is Order of Souls related, and in general I find that a noticeable share of world event loot is Order of Souls related. If you want more action in your journey to Pirate Legend, this method works for you. Although as mentioned tailored to the mystics, you can run any emissary. A lot of people prefer this method, especially for the Merchant Alliance, as it makes doing Merchant more fun, because the voyages aren't the greatest. Not only do world events give you high tier loot though, they also give you options. Once you get to grade 5 you can do the emissary quest loop, more world events, or voyages, you can do whatever. It's also worth touching on sea forts, as these small challenges are great for in between major events in your play session. They may not give the most loot, but what they do give is valuable and varied. The fort doesn't even take that long to complete at all. They're amazing for a small pit stop to shake things up. So to put a definite conclusion on this method, run world events with sea forts in between if you're passing. Once you get to grade 5 in a company, do what you wish. You may want to do the emissary quest, but if not, just keep going with events and forts. Our next strategy is particularly enjoyable, and that's exploring the Sunken Kingdom. The Sunken Kingdom has extremely varied high tier loot, and it's really easy to complete. The Sunken Kingdom in itself is split into two parts, treasuries and shrines, with 2 shrines and 1 treasury in each region, excluding the Devil's Roar. Shrines are puzzle based, like in Tall Tales, and treasuries are more combat based, almost like underwater forts with varying waves of ocean crawlers and sirens. Shrines, generally speaking, give more loot, even some of them give Chest of Ancient Tributes, but in general Sunken Kingdom activities will get you to grade 5 in any company very quickly, and of course lots of loot. And if you don't know how to get loot from below the surface back to your boat, simply find and put it in a coral mermaid statue. You can only hold up to 20 pieces at a time in these, but to reclaim your loot simply go to the surface and you'll find a mermaid spewing out pink smoke that when interacted with, drops all of your loot. If you're wondering, shrines and treasuries are marked by this weird sort of glowing aura. You can also see them on the map, it'll either be shrine of something or treasury of something, but obviously when underwater your ship is extremely vulnerable, so just be wary of that. There's not too much more to say about the Sunken Kingdom, other than it's really fun and just generally a different method. Personally, I really enjoyed this update when it came out, and there are so many little secrets and lore tidbits within it. Go get your wetsuit! Alright, so the Fall of the Damned method is an old classic. For this, generally speaking, I'd recommend doing it on a galleon. First, go out world event hunting for ritual skulls, and then get the 6 Flames of Fate. Then grind the absolute hell out of Fall of the Damned. To explain what you have to do briefly, you'll need to light the 6 braziers inside the fort with the 6 Flames of Fate. Once this is done, a cage will open up for you to put a ritual skull in to start the fort. There are 13 waves total. The skeletons are shadow skeletons, but the difference with this fort is that they're shadow skeletons that are based off of the Flames of Fate colours, so you're constantly having to change colours from the braziers you lit. The first 4 waves are 1 colour, the second 4 are 2 mixed colours, and the final 4 are 3 mixed colours. On the 4th and 8th wave, skeletons will spawn with kegs, and on the 12th they'll spawn with mega kegs. The 13th wave is a powerful skeleton lord known as the Ghost of Greymarrow, which if you've completed Sea of Thieves Shores of Gold, this guy is as powerful as doing normal Greymarrow on a galleon in the Revenge of the Morningstar tale. Fall of the Damned gives a relatively small amount of high tier loot, however when grinded right you can amass incredible hauls. It's where you see all of the screenshots of incomprehensible amounts of loot on social media. Fall of the Damned is how they do it. 3 people grinding it and 1 on watch that rotates. Have insane amounts of supplies for this and be ready for attackers, as they will attract them. However, as mentioned, when done right, Fall of the Damned can be an insane method to use. This method is how the person that reached Pirate Legend in under 8 hours did it. Alright, time for Reapers as I mentioned to talk about earlier. The only method there really is called Reaper World Events. Yeah, I know, us pirates are so clever. That's such a great name. But this strategy revolves around primarily grinding world events, as the name suggests, until grade 5. Once you get there, all emissaries in the server will be visible to you on the map, and so go and sink them all. If there is none, continue doing world events. Reapers can turn into a bit of a PvE grind, but that is sadly how it goes. And the rep of non-stolen loot gives you 4 times less than if it is stolen. So that's why sinking emissaries where possible is so important, but otherwise it is just grinding world events, because they're the singular best source for Reapers. I'd recommend this for one of your Pirate Legend companies if it wasn't for the sheer fact that it takes an incredibly longer amount of time to reach 50 than other companies. With regard to the Hunter's Call, the only thing I can recommend without fishing is not doing it. Okay, no, but seriously. The only real way to do it is through mermaid gems. These will be your golden savior. If you selected this as one of your pirate legend companies, then pick another. Okay, fine, if you insist. But if you actually have, apart from fishing, every single mermaid gem you lay your hands on goes to them. Same with any meat or fish, there is no emissary for the hunter's call. It is such a grind, you've got to give everything you physically can to them. I cannot stress how much to not do this unless somehow you really just love fishing. But anyways, there we go. These are my personal methods on how the best ways to get to Pirate Legend are in 2022. I know some videos like this will give you a clear definitive this is how you want to do it, but the trick with Sea of Thieves is there is no definitive method, which is why I've given a lot of options here. Pick whichever one suits your playstyle, as they're all very profitable. This video is intended to just give a general pointer. If it did help you though, please consider leaving a like, it helps out a ton, and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Sea of Thieves news as and when it comes out. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I'm more than happy to answer any of them, as I'm sure a lot of new players will be watching this as well. But anyways, apart from all that, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.